Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the first ever virtual listing concierge expo. We are super excited to bring this event to you today. This is something that we normally do inside the offices, office by office, so that we can get some face time with all of the different vendors who participate in our listing concierge program. It's always nice to put a face with the name and get an overview of the product that you're using and get some best practices that you can leverage to your advantage to make sure you're getting the most out of your listing concierge package. But today, because of current circumstances, we're going to be doing this in a virtual format. Hopefully, if you've attended a listing concierge expo in the past, you're going to get a good refresher on some of the information that's most vital to you leveraging listing concierge for your business. And if you've never been to an expo before, this is a great opportunity for you to learn more about a program that you have available to you to work with. I just want to give some reminders here as we begin this session. This is going to be a recorded session, so make sure that you look out for the recap email that'll be coming your way following the expo. The link to the recording will be live there. We're also going to have live Q&A at the end of this session. So if you have any questions that you're just burning to get answers to, go ahead and use the Q&A box over on the right-hand side of your screen and input your questions there. We have somebody who's going to be monitoring the Q&A and going to be presenting those questions at the end so we can get answers from the vendors themselves. And then your microphones are all muted because it's a live event and we don't want to take anybody's attention away from what the speakers are saying or the visuals on the screen. So please know you can't talk out loud at this moment. So that's why you're going to use the Q&A. Let's go ahead and get started. Listing Concierge is a part of our production power value. Remember, we have 4 core values with Coldwell Banker: production power, coaching to confidence, wealth builder, and creating a culture of awesomeness. And today is all about that production power value. We help agents sell more homes, make more money, and work more efficiently. It's part of the way we help every one of you to live an exceptional life. And Listing Concierge is one of the first and major bullet points within that production power value. Now, there's 3 things that Listing Concierge is designed to do, and it's really, really important that you remember this and keep this in mind. It is designed to help you win every single listing, period. It's also designed to help you enhance your value proposition. You should not have to be debating your commission at the listing table. And then once you get that listing, Listing Concierge is designed to help you wow your seller and turn one listing into 2 or 3 more listings by showcasing you, the agent, and wowing that seller. So we're going to jump right in. And we're going to start by bringing in Evelyn from HomeSpotter. We use Boost by HomeSpotter as a part of your Listing Concierge package to really help bolster your social media advertising and your web targeting on various websites. One of the things that's happened over the last few weeks as we've had COVID-19 in place is that we've also given you the option now within your Listing Concierge package to forego your printed brochures, because you may not be doing as many open houses as you were in the past or at all. And so we've given you the option to actually opt into an extended Boost campaign. And Evelyn from HomeSpotter is going to be gracious enough to walk us through what Boost by HomeSpotter does and how you can leverage it to your advantage. Thanks for joining us, Evelyn.
All right. Hi, guys. Hopefully you can hear me okay. So my name is Evelyn. I'm our Director of Customer Success here at Boost by HomeSpotter. And great overview of what we do. So Boost is one of the vendors as part of Listing Concierge. So whenever you order a platinum or a gold package, part of that package includes a Boost ad or an advertisement of your listing that will be seen on Facebook, Instagram, and across the web on thousands of sites. If we want to jump to the next slide there. Basically, what our tool does is we have a feed that comes back and forth with us between Coldwell Banker and Boost by HomeSpotter. And anytime that you have a new listing, we're notified, and we're notified about the listing itself and all of the details about that property, including things like the number of bedrooms, the bathrooms, price, location. Looking at that price, what does that mean in that particular location? Is that a starter home? Is that a luxury property? We get a ton of information that comes into us, and we use all of that to create an advertisement across the web to promote that property. Not only do we create an ad for that listing, but we can also build a property landing page, which I'll dive into here in a bit more detail. And then we build a custom audience to serve these ads up to. So whenever you place that package order for that gold or platinum package, and part of that includes a boost ad, we've got everything that we need to start promoting that property. If you want to jump to the next slide. Just here's a little bit of details on what's included in every package. We also have a ton of other ad types available from your Boost dashboard, and you get a really nice big discount on everything that Boost has available because you're an agent with Coldwell Banker. If you look over to the right here on this deck or on this slide, you'll see an example of what an ad might look like. The really cool thing about this program is that we've pulled in everything we need, like I said. So we've already connected to business pages to sponsor these ads from. We've already pulled in everything that we need for a headline and a description on these ads. And we have an ads team here that is constantly testing out, what does the headline look like? What does the ad look like? And so you get this really nice, ability to have somebody who's testing out all of these ads to make sure that we have super high click-through rates. So on these ads itself that run across the web, like I said, we'll build an ad for you that's on Facebook, on Instagram, and shared all across the web on thousands of sites through our display ad network. And, if you look at this little ad, there's 2 little house emojis in it, which is cute, but we also have tested 50 other headlines, and this one performs the best. We actually see about a 7 to 10% click-through rate on these ads. And so if we jump to the next page or the next slide here, when somebody actually clicks on these ads, not only do we create the ad itself, but we'll also build a property landing page to drive that traffic to. All of these landing pages are hosted by Boost by HomeSpotter. They feature more information about the listing. They're going to feature more information about you, your contact information, and they're what we call a gated landing page. And so what we do is we actually gate some information about your properties behind a form. So if somebody wants to get the address or directions or more photos of your listings, we've already built in this lead gen tool that will basically put up a gate between that. People can unlock with their Facebook account. We then collect their names and email addresses, and then we'll share that back to you. Just looking at the ad performance again in a bit more detail, like I said, we'll do all of the ad placement for you, and that's included in these packages. So on a typical 1-week ad, we're going to serve that ad up between 3,000 to 5,000 times to people online. And we are doing all the targeting for you. So we're looking for potential buyers for that specific property. All of that's done by looking at people's online behavior, and we find people who've done something to indicate they're in a market for the home, and then we'll serve up an ad to them with your listing. So we see about a 7 to 10% click-through rate on Facebook and Instagram for these ads. It's a little bit lower on our web ads. We see about 2% click-through rate on those. Once you actually get to the landing page, we see about a 5% conversion rate to unlocking for more information or filling out a form to request information. So on a 1-week ad, we'll typically get between 10 to 20 names and email addresses of people who've seen your ad, clicked on it, and engaged with that landing page. So really high engagement on these ads. If you want to jump to the next slide then. Super simple for you guys. When your ad is ready, you're just going to get an email from boost@homespotter.com. So if you've placed an order for a gold or platinum package, included in that package is this Boost ad. You don't have to raise your hand and let us know. We'll automatically pull in everything that we need, and you're just going to get an email right to your inbox that says, hey, your ad's ready to go. Just some best practices for this. If you want to jump to the next slide then, we'll allow you to make edits to any of these ads before they go live or anytime while the campaign is running. So we'll pick all the defaults for the ad itself. We give you full editorial control over everything to make sure that you know exactly what your ad looks like. One more slide here then. We also can target your seller. So when you get that email from boost@homespotter.com, what you're going to want to do is click on the big button that says add seller's information. If you provide us with your seller's name and email address, we'll basically take that information, add it to the targeting for this particular property. And then when your seller is, say, checking out hgtv.com for recipes this weekend, we're going to serve up an ad to them for their own listing. And we also have the ability to send them seller results and a direct link to the ad. So just more great ways to make sure that your sellers know when you list with me, these are all of the things you get. One more slide here. maybe 2 more. We will notify you about everything going on with the ad. So if you're like, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know how to run these ads, that's where we're going to do everything for you. You're going to get daily summaries as your ad's running. You're going to get real-time notifications if somebody comments on your ad or fills out a form on a landing page. And then you're going to get a really nice end of ad report that has everything about the ad that you can share with your seller as well. I'll go quick. So my last little slide here, I think. What else can you do with Boost? There's a ton of things that you can do with Boost. Included in all of those platinum and gold packages are a standard listing ad. We do have available in our Boost dashboard the ability to run agent promo ads, virtual tour, virtual open house ads. Once open house events are live again, we can help you promote those, price improvements, and just sold properties. So everything, I think last slide, everything is available just look for the Boost tile on desk when you sign into your Boost dashboard. If you have an active listing today, it's in there already for you. We've already pulled in everything that we need. And if you do have like a virtual tour or virtual open house that you want to promote, you can jump in there to take advantage of everything inside of that dashboard at a really nice discount on anything on top of what comes through Listing Concierge. Couple of just things for you guys to access here. We do live training every Tuesday. There's a ton of stuff in there, so it takes about 45 minutes. I'll go through everything inside of that dashboard. You can sign up for that. Got a couple short videos here, so you guys will get access to this deck, I'm sure, and you can check those out as well. Did I get it all done in time?
That was awesome. Thank you, Evelyn. Boost is great. One of the things I really love about Boost is that as we've been working with agents over the last year or so, and Facebook has made a lot of changes to the algorithms that they're using to enable agents in the real estate industry to leverage social advertising. Things have changed. They've implemented fair housing laws, and a lot of agents who go in to create ads on Facebook are no longer seeing their ads running. They're getting flagged for a lot of different reasons. And Boost really takes the guesswork out of that for an agent, makes it super duper simple to target the right people who actually care about buying or selling a home today, not 6 months from now, but right now. And so you're getting a far more targeted ad, which is great. And you don't have to worry about figuring out Facebook's algorithm, which Facebook has a hard time even figuring out a lot of the time. So thank you, Evelyn, for joining us. We really appreciate the overview on Boost. And be sure to check out the Boost app, the Boost by HomeSpotter app in your mycbdesk.com so you can check out what that interface looks like. All right, next up, Listing Concierge would not be complete without professional photography. I know some of you still love taking photos on your iPhone or your Android, and some of you have super great cameras on your iPhone or Android, but if you weren't a professional photographer in your past life, you probably want to leave the photography to a professional. So every single Listing Concierge package does include an element of professional photography. We have a number of vendors that you can choose from when you're placing the order for your package. You also have the option to continue using Uncle Joe if that's who you prefer to use. We'll actually give you a credit back on the price of your package if that's what you decide to do. But part of the awesomeness of using Listing Concierge photography partners is that the photography partner is actually responsible for getting your photography loaded into your Listing Concierge account, which means one less thing for you to have to remember to do. So today we have F8 here with us, who is the one photography vendor that actually services our entire Northern California market. And Ryan is here to actually give us some more details about F8, the services that they provide, the upgrades and enhancements that are offered through the different packages, and how that's all going to work for you when you go to place your order. Take it away, Ryan.
All right, thanks, Cami. So yeah, we're here to talk about photography for Listing Concierge. Dustin, do you mind going to the next slide? Yeah, there we go. And actually, you can scoot on to the next one if you'd like as well. So why F8 Real Estate Media? You obviously have a lot of choices when it comes to ordering photography through Listing Concierge. And as far as F8 goes, one of the biggest appealing factors is our high availability. Regardless of where you get your listings or where you're working, we can actually get a photographer there. We serve 37 states. We have more than 200 photographers in the field, and the benefit for you is going to be quick and easy scheduling for your listing and consistent results no matter where your listing is located. As far as the turnaround time goes, everything is super fast. So all media is turned around to you no later than noon the day after your photo shoot. And that doesn't matter if your photo shoot was on a Monday or on a Saturday, you'll always have your photos the very next day, everything guaranteed by noon. So photos, videos, Matterport, or 360 tours. Additionally, we do have a call center in place to handle all of your needs. We've got an ultra friendly folks on the other end of the line in our offices, are actually right now working from home, but they are live people taking your calls Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And then we also have after hours support if you need it. So if you need to reach us outside of business hours, you can leave us a voicemail, send us an email, and we will follow up with you right away, even on the weekends. So beyond just typical listing photography, we do offer additional services as well. So aerial photography, full video production, twilight photography are just some of the additional options. And then Dustin, do you mind going to the next slide? And then we've got these items that are highlighted here in green. So Matterport 3D tours and floor plans, virtual staging, and 360 tours. We consider these to be remote selling tools that allow you to showcase the property to people who actually can't go to the home. Showings are obviously tough, open houses non-existent right now. So for the time being, you guys are latching on to these remote selling tools and leveraging those to be able to show the property when you can't actually get folks there. We'll go through some demonstrations of what those look like as well. Okay, so we stand behind every product that we deliver with our 10-point quality assurance checklist. All photos that we deliver to you are checked to make sure that they're in focus, to make sure that they're straight, that they have correct angles, colors are correct and representative of the home. We have nice bright photos that we've delivered the minimum number of the photos, which by the way, we're always shooting for 36 photos of the house. We check to make sure that we've got blue skies in all the photos. If it was a cloudy or gloomy day or even a rainy day, we can convert those skies to blue skies with puffy white clouds so that the photos always look cheerful and attractive. Windows, we always check to make sure that we can see through the windows to the outside. And then we also check to make sure that all the photos are free of obvious defects in the photos, such as cameras in the mirrors, people, things like that. If there's ever a concern about any of the photos that we deliver, we do defer to our customer satisfaction process to make sure that we resolve anything that may arise. So we're always happy to stand behind our 4 R's. So the first R is review. If you ever have questions or concerns about the photos, we're always happy to review that work with our clients. Revise. If something doesn't meet our quality standards, we're happy to edit or revise those photos for you. Revisit. If editing doesn't yield our promised quality to you, we will revisit the home at our expense. And refund. If we're unable to deliver on our promised quality level to you, then we will issue a refund for you for that photo shoot. Okay, so brief talk about what we do and what we don't do and what we are and what we are not. So for starters, we are not handymen, stagers, designers, builders, helpers, movers. We're not cleaners and we're not furniture putter-togethers. We don't put together the IKEA furniture for you before we do the photo shoot. We do want to remind everybody that we don't touch or move any personal property inside the home. Our insurance prohibits us from doing so. And more specifically, during these times with COVID-19, we really try not to touch anything inside the house. And by the way, we do have an on-site protocol that we follow. We make sure that all of our photographers are equipped with personal protective equipment. And then we also ask that all of the agents or occupants of the home vacate the house while we're doing the photo shoot. That way we're able to go through the house to capture the best photos possible without having to worry about social distancing. Is somebody breathing on us? Are we breathing on them? That type of stuff. So what we will do at the property for the photo shoot, we'll walk the property before we take any photos. We'll walk it inside and out. We'll turn on the lights. We'll turn off the ceiling fans. We'll put down the toilet seats and we'll help to reel the hose in most cases. Those are the limitations of what we'll do at the property. We will point out things that we see that are obvious, cars that are in the driveway, beds that aren't made, trash cans and recycle bins that haven't been put away yet. But those are items that we won't touch or deal with on our own, and specifically personal property that belongs to the homeowners. So anything on the bathroom counters, anything on the kitchen table, those types of items are going to stay there during the course of the photo shoot. So you do want to be aware of that. All right, next slide, Justin. So these are all the areas where your listing concierge photos are going to be displayed. Postcards, magazine ads, online and social media, TV spots, and property flyers if you're doing those. Just a reminder that when we deliver the photos or any of the content into Listing Concierge, if you do have questions about any of these items, so your postcards, magazine spots, etc., we don't have access to all of that. So we'll always refer you back to your Listing Concierge coordinator to help you out with those products. Now let's take a look at some of the items that we're offering. So 360 Tours is a brand new product that we just launched. It's proving to be very, very popular, especially right now when you can't get buyers necessarily into every house that you want to show them. So 360 Tours are similar to Matterport, only a whole lot more affordable, but they allow you to walk through the house as if you're there, kind of navigate from room to room. Next slide, Dustin. Virtual staging is an awesome tool for showing people the potential of what a vacant house can look like. So staging obviously wasn't considered a essential service for a very long time, and so a lot of the houses are vacant and empty, and it's just not the best way to showcase a house. So for $35 per photo, we can go ahead and stage these photos for you. As you can see in the photo on the right, not only did we stage the eating area, but also the kitchen, also the living room there. So we'll make everything look perfect for you in that way. Matterport 3D, of course, everybody's already familiar with this one. This allows people to see the property from that dollhouse perspective and kind of see how the rooms are grouped together and how the house is laid out and truly flows. Next photo, or next slide. HDR photography, inside, outside, we've got the whole house covered for you. Again, we are shooting for a minimum of 36 photos. If the house will hold more than that, we will shoot more photos than that for you. And all of the photos receive the same treatment with regard to windows and skies and making sure that everything just looks beautiful for you. Next slide. Twilight photography. So if you need your property showcased in a different way, or if you need to refresh a listing that's been on the market for some time now, a twilight photo shoot may be a great way to do that and capture some extra attention. And then next slide. And aerial photography, of course, is a great way to showcase how the house sits on the lot, how the lot sits on the street, and how that street fits into the community, along with any views that may be there to capture. So that's really all of everything that I wanted to discuss with you guys today. I appreciate your time. Looking forward to answering your questions a little bit later.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ryan. Ryan and F8 were the original photography group that we launched even when we were beta testing Listing Concierge, which is very exciting, and they've done a lot of great work for us. In addition to F8, we do have some other options that are available and specific to certain regions here in our Northern California market. If you're in Sacramento, Tahoe, you have Pineapple Labs and Virtuance, which are also options for you to select from when you're placing your order in the Listing Concierge platform. If you're down in the San Francisco Bay Area or Santa Cruz or Monterey Bay, you also have some new options, Open Homes Photography and Aerial Canvas and Virtual Tour Cafe. Aerial Canvas and Virtual Tour Cafe actually launched for us last week. So you'll find some new things in there when you go to place your order. And F8 will be in there as well. So please take a look at all the offerings. And if you have any questions, you can certainly reach out to your manager or marketing manager, and we can get you the information that you're looking for. All right, next up, we're going to take that beautiful photography provided through the package, and we're going to make sure that that gets implemented into all the printed pieces that you're going to want to have at your disposal to market the property and to showcase yourself as the agent. So we're going to bring Corfact in next. We have a great video that they're going to show us here, and then we'll hear from Sierra at Corfact, who is super awesome and going to give us a rundown on all the product offerings. But remember, Corfact is producing your printed brochures, your trifold mailers in the silver envelopes with the beautiful hand-scripted font, real stamp on the front, return address, your just listed postcards, your just sold postcards, and they can do a whole lot. So here we go. Take a look at this video.
Hello, and welcome to the Corfact Listing Concierge program. Today, we're going to discuss the benefits of this program for your agents. In addition, we'd like you to know that no matter what your agent's level of expertise, we have products and services to suit them. Before we get into the Listing Concierge program, we want you to know a little bit about CoreFact. We specialize in the real estate industry and offer direct mail and additional print and online marketing that allows agents to market themselves quickly and easily. We offer over 80,000 postcard designs and hundreds of brochures and flyers that can be shipped out within 24 hours. What separates us from the competition is our unique key code tracking technology, which combines direct mail and web technology. This combination creates higher conversion rates than traditional direct mail. Think of us as a one-stop marketing shop who can provide your real estate agents with everything they need to market themselves and their listings. CoreFact and Coldwell Banker have had a close partnership for more than 10 years. Over the years, we've worked together on several custom marketing projects. The Listing Concierge program is one of them. Here's how it works. CoreFact serves as the print and direct mail fulfillment partner for the Listing Concierge program. We produce and distribute the trifold mailers, property brochures, and just listed and just sold postcards that are part of the program. Real estate agents are assigned a Listing Concierge coordinator who can assist with the package details. Agents place their orders through the Coldwell Banker platform, where they manage the photos and marketing copy. The LCC facilitates all necessary correspondence with CoreFact on behalf of the agent. Once finalized, CoreFact processes and prints the files. Typical processing times for direct mail postcards are 2 days for processing and 3 to 5 days for trifold processing. Please note that the processing time does not include delivery timeframe. Print-only brochures and flyers submitted before the daily cutoff time will be printed and sent out via the delivery option chosen. In most regions, there are 3 Listing Concierge packages available: Silver, Gold, and Platinum. Depending on the property price point, agents can order the Global Luxury or Visionary sample collections. For trifold mailers and postcards, agents can use their own mailing list, acquire a radius list, or can combine mailing and radius lists. Please note, all tiers feature additional items which are not provided or associated with CoreFact. Package offerings vary, so check with your Listing Concierge manager on region-specific details. The Silver Listing Concierge tier comes with professionally printed property brochures, available in a variety of sizes, plus Super Jumbo Just Listed and Super Jumbo Just Sold postcards, which includes printing and mailing. Print materials for both the Gold and Platinum Listing Concierge tiers come with professionally printed property brochures in the size of their choice. Instead of Super Jumbo Just Listed postcards, these tiers come with trifold property announcements with envelopes which are printed and mailed. Then, after they've closed the listing, Super Jumbo Just Sold postcards will be printed and mailed. Thank you for watching this short video to learn about the Coldwell Banker and CoreFact partnership, the Listing Concierge program. CoreFact is here for your agent's print marketing and direct mail needs. We're also here for any questions you may have. Please call us at 866-777-3986 or email at cb1support@corefact.com.
That's awesome. Sierra, tell us a little bit more about Listing Concierge and CoreFact and how we can leverage your services.
All right. Well, Cami, the video said most of what I wanted to communicate. But thanks again for having us here and for the partnership. We just love this program and love the partnership with Coldwell Banker. One thing I do want to point out is obviously we've updated all of our logos to the North Star logo. So every time I see that old Coldwell Banker logo, I cringe and go, oh no, we got to update the video. But of course, all of the pieces have been updated and your Listing Concierge team is on that, of course. I do just want to reiterate something that Ryan had mentioned, and that is our brochures are as beautiful as the photography, and professional photography makes such a big difference. So when you compare professionally done photos with something you might do on an iPhone, you can't even compare. So number one, it starts with the photography. Number two is some of the questions that we get often have to do with the layout or different things that really are not controlled by Corfact. So again, we want to redirect you back to your listing concierge team, and any questions or concerns about the template in particular, go ahead and refer those back to them. And then the last thing I just want to talk about briefly is that trifold mailer piece, because there is no one out there doing anything like that. That trifold mailer piece is a showstopper, and we know that it gets the attention of potential buyers, but really the point of that piece, and I think Camping are going to go into this a little bit later as one of the goals of the program, the point of that piece is really to find your next seller, because it talks about property marketing that works and highlights the program in conjunction with promoting the property, of course, but really the goal there is to showcase all of the offerings in the program. And bar none, there's no one else out there doing that, communicating it that way, putting it in that silver envelope. It looks like an invitation, something that you'd want to get in the mail. People are eager to open it. The responses we get on that one piece in particular just continue to blow me away. So I love that your marketing team put that together. The product studio came up with that. So love that piece, and this program is awesome. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Sierra. We love Corfact. It's a great partnership, and we really appreciate you being here today. Next up, we have Scott Tanner from .Signal. Now, .Signal is what I think to be one of the greatest pieces of your listing presentation when you're presenting Listing Concierge. This is a real way to wow your seller, to show them how proactive and quickly you can follow up with leads who are interested in the property. And it is an interactive piece that you can actually use in your listing presentation that is really going to set you apart from other agents who are coming in with the normal flyers and brochures. You're going to have a little bit more to offer here. And so I'm very excited for Scott to share what .Signal is all about. Take it away, Scott.
Okay, thanks. Hello, everyone. I'm going to put Dustin to the test here because I've got some animations going on. And so I might be saying click a lot. But what I want to point out is that .Signal is a tool, especially in today's market, that is really beneficial for today's buyers. As you'll notice on the screen, the sign writer you see is just a sign that would look just like the signs you guys have access to. And I want to talk to you about how this product works, why it's important, and then also offer a real neat tool that you can do on your phone after the presentation today and walk away with a neat little seller presentation keyword that you have access to. Next slide, please. One of the biggest support tickets that we receive when an agent rolls this product out, and keep in mind, we are part of every single level of concierge, and so whether you're gold, silver, or platinum, you get to use our product. And sometimes agents will get a listing and it'll come in through the Realogy feed, but it can take up to 24 hours. And I want to make sure everybody understands that your account is automatically set up, your listings are automatically set up, and the data is updated daily through that Realogy feed. So if you get a listing today and it goes on the MLS, and then you get your sign writer that you get to put on your panel, if you run out today and try to test that, you may not see your property, because it can take up to 24 hours for that to load into our system. So keep that in mind. Next slide, please. Each office has their own unique keyword. And so what's important for everybody to understand is when you do sign up for concierge and get that sign is designated for your office. They all start with the word home and then have a number next to it. For example, here, you would text home 435 to 35620. The home 435 is unique to your specific office. So every office is going to have their own unique number. So keep that in mind. It's important that you get the correct sign writer, and these sign writers should be supplied in inventory in each office. So it shouldn't be any trouble getting those signs out to your property. In some offices, the sign companies put them out for you. In other offices, they'll hand you the sign writer and put it out. And it's okay to test it, but just make sure if you're going to test it, that you're standing in front of the property and that you know that that property has been on the MLS longer than 24 hours. Next slide, please. So if you're at the driveway and you're a consumer, it's really this simple. You want information on that property. We know that 75% of buyers are still driving homes. In this climate today, this is so much more important than it's ever been, to be able to get information to the consumer in real time through their mobile device. All that consumer needs to do is text that home code to 35620. Next. That office keyword is tied to your office's listing inventory. And the best part about it is that we use the location of the consumer to push the property they're closest to their phone, and then we're able to send a lead to the agent. And this all happens quickly. What's also cool about this product is we do want you presenting this in a listing presentation, but we ask that you don't demo the actual, what we call home or office keyword, or the home keyword, while you're in a listing presentation, because it's active. And we want to make sure that when you're demoing this to your sellers in real time, that it's your branding that's showing up and not the property that's closest to where you are when you're testing it. And so we're going to provide each agent with their own demo code, which I'll show you towards the end of the presentation, where you can demo this in real time to your sellers with your own unique demo code. Now, when we send the lead to you, it comes in real time. And the most important thing to remember is that lead's coming to you as a text message. So if a consumer does opt in and we identify it's your property they're opting into, we're going to send a lead to you that's going to come to you like you see on screen there with a link. When you get that text message link, just click the link, and then it'll pull in the consumer page showing you exactly who the consumer is, but most importantly, what mobile number they called from. And it's going to allow you to see also which property they opted into. And again, this happens all in real time. So follow-up is important, and you want to follow up within the first, I would say, 5 minutes is best. And try texting them back, because you do have the opportunity to call them or text them back. I would suggest calling first. If they don't pick up, shoot them back a text message. You might have some success there. Next slide, please. There's two types of experience we have with the consumer. There's the consumer that's sharing their location, so they've got their GPS on, and then there's the consumer that is not sharing. But in this demonstration, I want to show you what happens when the consumer is sharing location. So they do opt in through the home code. We send them a text message, they click the link, and instantly we know we've got their location. So we provide them with the property that's nearest to them. But we want to make sure that it is the actual property they're standing in front of, the one they wanted, because there could be a listing from the same office, maybe right next door. It doesn't happen often, but it could. So we ask them to click yes, show me the details, or no, show me nearby homes. Next slide. So if they do click on yes, next, we're going to provide them with that property and then send a lead to that agent. Next slide. Let's say that it was the property next door. Then the consumer can just simply click on no, show me nearby homes. Next slide. And then we'll provide them with the homes, again, only listings that are active or pending from your office that are within a certain radius, and they can click on the one they wanted and provide the details to them, and again, send a lead to the agent. Next slide. Now, if the consumer is not sharing location, that's fine. We have a great solution for that too. So they still text in, they still click on the link. Instantly, we know that there's no location being shared. Next slide. And so we provide them instantly with this screen that says, hey, we weren't able to get your location. Let's search by street name instead. It's really simple. So you can just type in the street name, or the consumer can click to see all active listings in the office, or go ahead and click. They can try to adjust their location and try it again. Most people are going to click where they enter the street name. They're going to enter the street name. Let's say it's Granite Street. So on Granite, they're going to start typing the word Granite, and we're going to be able to provide them with what active or pending listings are in that office on Granite Street. Go ahead and click. And then they can just tap on that property, and we'll send a lead to the agent and send the details right to the consumer. So finally, and that's basically how the program works. It's very simple to use. It's very user-friendly. But we want you guys showing this off in your listing presentation. So regardless of whether you have a listing or not, regardless of whether you signed up for Concierge or not, every agent has access to their own presentation sheet that you can use in a listing presentation. And you'll have your own unique, what we call demo code, or presentation keyword is another way we say it. So on your mobile phone, and this is something you can do after the presentation. If you have a chance to go back and watch this video again, you'll be able to see how to do this, or you can take notes on this. But on your mobile phone, all you have to do is text the word presentation to 35620, and we'll send you a text message with the presentation keyword and send an email with a link to the presentation sheet. It is that simple, and everybody can get access to their own demo code and show it off in a presentation to your sellers 24/7. It will always brand you, and it'll always send out a lead showing the consumer how quick that lead comes. Next slide. Okay, well, I had one more slide, but it looked like it's not on there. So I just want to let everybody know, if you do have any needs or concerns, our email is support@signal.com. And so please feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions or need any help. If like maybe a listing's not showing up like you think it should, just send us an email at support@signal.com, and we will get back to you with an answer promptly. Thanks, guys.
Thanks so much, Scott. We'll take a look at .signal here in a little bit when we wrap this whole thing up with the 12-minute listing presentation. But we are going to keep going and talk about TV and print advertising, which are two major components of your package. Now, it is very important to say here that as of about a year ago now, we opened up all of the different advertising and print opportunities to every single market in Northern California. So if you're an agent in Sacramento, Tahoe, and you're trying to target buyers or just get the word out about your brand and your business down in the Bay Area, you now have the option to opt into any of the Bay Area print publications that the Bay Area Listing Concierge package has too. And we'll talk more about that in just a second. We also have television, which happens on 3 different channels depending on what market you're in, and we can make sure that we're targeting our buyers in our particular market locally based on those 3 TV channel options. But really cool here to note is that since the onset of COVID-19 back in March, we've actually seen the Northern California TV show viewership go up by 150%. That's a huge increase in the number of people who actually are going to be watching your listing and seeing your face, your name, and your branding on TV on Saturdays and Sundays. So keep that in mind as we talk through this. Let's start with print. Print advertising. You now have the option to opt into Sacramento Magazine, and depending on which which listing concierge package that you're opting into will determine the size of the print ad that's included in your listing concierge package. So typically, and it does vary a bit by publication, just if it's a longer publication or a wider publication, smaller publication, the size of the ad for a silver package is typically going to be 1/12 of a page. If you're going gold, you're going to get a 1/6 page ad in most publications. And if you go platinum, you're going to get the 1/3 page ad with the option to have more than one photo of the property. Now, if you're looking to really think through your agent branding on these print ads, because print isn't totally dead, right? But it's not necessarily the place that everybody's looking to find a new listing that they can take a look at and possibly purchase. But if you're looking for the branding piece on this, your gold and platinum packages are the ones that include your agent headshot on there and a little bit more space for extra copy and details about the property. So keep that in mind as you're thinking through which package you're going to be ordering. Let's go to the next slide, which is Sacktown Magazine. Sacktown Magazine, again, has a 12-page ad for our silver packages, a 6-page ad for our gold packages, and a 3rd-page ad for our platinum packages. Now, Sacktown and Sacramento Magazine alternate on which months you're going to be able to opt into those publications. So as you're thinking through which publication you want to choose to be in and showcase your property and showcase yourself, think about your marketing schedule and make sure you've timed that out appropriately if you're going to opt into either Sacramento or Sacktown. We also have Tahoe Quarterly. Tahoe Quarterly actually has 5 issues that it does each year. I know it says quarterly, but there's 5 of them. You can opt into that as well. And again, you're going to look at the 12-page ad for silver, a 6-page ad for gold, and a 3rd-page ad for your platinum. Tahoe Quarterly does actually get funneled down into the Bay Area as well in Silicon Valley. So keep that in mind. That could be a good option for you depending on the timeline that you're looking at for your listing. Let's go to the next slide. Mountain Democrat. This was actually a new ad that we added to Listing Concierge a few months back, and this is really targeting people in El Dorado County. So if you have a listing that you think somebody would be very interested in within El Dorado County, this could be a good option. It's a newspaper option, and again, you're getting the 12-page ad in silver, the 6-page ad with gold, and the 3rd-page ad with platinum. Keep going. Now, if you're looking to target people along that 680 corridor from, let's say, like Pleasanton down into San Ramon, Danville, Walnut Creek area, we have an East Bay Times option, which is actually going to give you 5 different print ads in 5 different neighborhood publications that target that entire 680 corridor. Again, you're going to get the 12-page ad in silver, 6-page ad in gold, 3rd-page ad in platinum. La Miranda Weekly is going to target Orinda, Moraga, and a little bit of Walnut Creek in that Rossmore area. This is a newspaper that really is only heavily read in that area. It's their only newspaper in the area, so it could be a great option if you're targeting senior communities in Rossmore, or if you're looking to target people specifically in Lafayette, Orinda, and Moraga area. Next slide. Press Democrat, Sonoma County. So think about Sonoma County areas, Santa Rosa, Petaluma, Sebastopol. This is your newspaper option up there. You're going to get the 12-page ad in the silver, 6-page ad in gold, and the 3rd-page ad in your platinum. It is a newspaper and it runs every other week. So you'll get distribution in there based on the next available issue. Marin Magazine, it's like the only magazine in Marin County. It's the only one that they care about anyways. So if you want to be seen in Marin, then Marin Magazine is the way to go. Again, you have the 12-page ad with silver, 6-page ad with gold, and the 3rd-page ad with platinum, and the 2-photo spread option. Marin Magazine is a great option if you're looking to target that North Bay area. All right, here we go. Down into the other parts of the Bay Area. Think San Francisco, Silicon Valley, the Peninsula, Santa Cruz, Monterey Bay. One of my favorite buys within Listing Concierge is the Bay Area News Group. And the reason that I like this is because it actually gives you, count them, 10 print ads within your Listing Concierge package. You're going to get a print ad in 10 weekly distributed newspapers that target specific neighborhoods in Silicon Valley. So if you're looking to target that Silicon Valley buyer or get your name out in the Silicon Valley market, this could be a great option for you. You're targeting Los Gatos, Saratoga, Cupertino, Sunnyvale, different parts of San Jose, Campbell, and Palo Alto. So this could be a great option. All 10 ads run on the same weekend in all of the local newspapers. In addition to that, if you're looking to be in the Gilroy Morgan Hill area, we target the Gilroy Dispatch and Morgan Hill Times, the Santa Cruz Sentinel if you're down in Santa Cruz County, the Los Altos Town Crier, heavily read neighborhood newspaper in Los Altos, Half Moon Bay Review, which targets the entire coastline. It's the only paper there that will target the coastline along that region. The Almanac, Mountain View Voice, Palo Alto Weekly. Think Lower Peninsula in, obviously, Palo Alto, Mountain View, Menlo Park area. We have Homes and Land of the Upper Peninsula. That's going to target your Burlingame, San Mateos, San Carlos area. That entire Upper Peninsula actually reads Home and Land still. And they did a nice revamp on their publication here recently. So it looks really nice. It's glossy. It's very pretty now. Gentry Magazine, also a very posh, highly read magazine that targets a lot of the peninsula, but mainly that lower peninsula area. Think Atherton, Menlo Park, Woodside, Portola Valley, Los Altos, Palo Alto. They love Gentry Magazine down there. It is a lifestyle magazine that focuses on really nice, affluent things. And so you're going to target a certain type of buyer there in that area. We also have for our city, the SFIS insert into the Chronicle, the San Francisco Chronicle, once a month. We have pages dedicated to our Listing Concierge listings in SFIS. You can definitely place an ad for that publication. Nob Hill Gazette, also heavily used in our San Francisco market. You can totally target buyers who are reading that as well. And then we have Architectural Digest, which is a nice option to have at a seller listing appointment to kind of pull out of your back pocket and say, you have an outstanding home here, Mr. Seller, and it's so beautiful, it should go in Architectural Digest, and I can make that happen. We have a lot of different print publication options, so think through who you're trying to target, look at your marketing schedule, and figure out which publication has the best solution for your need. Now let's move over and talk about TV. I did mention viewership of our Northern California TV show is up 150% since March. That's huge. I don't know about you, but I've been watching a lot more TV lately since I've been sheltering in place at home. You probably have too. So we've got TV spots to make sure that your listings are getting seen by all those extra eyeballs that maybe wouldn't otherwise have a chance to view the listing or to see you, the agent. So TV spots right now are going to be aired twice in a row throughout the rest of this shelter in place that's happening. So until further notice. Typically, when you purchase Listing Concierge, you get one TV spot that airs one time on the weekly TV show. But until further notice, we're going to give you 2 runs just to get some extra exposure for your listings. Now, the great part about our TV spots is that they're all uploaded to the At Home in Northern California YouTube channel. That means you can go and do a search for At Home in Northern California on YouTube. You can find your TV spot or the full-length show that's been uploaded for the week, and you can share it in a bunch of different places. So think about sharing these TV spots on your social media channels, in your business pages, your personal profiles, on your own YouTube channel, because you want to get credit for search engine optimization and upping your Google juice as much as possible. So always get your videos on your YouTube channel. You can share a link to the video in your email signature. And I've seen some agents that are getting really clever with this, and they're actually putting in a little thumbnail graphic of the video with the little play button on it, because we're all pretty familiar with what that means if I'm going to click on a play button these days. I'm actually going to see a video and not click on a link that I'm not sure where it's taking me to. So if you want to get really creative, try playing around with the thumbnail image that hyperlinks to your video spot and put that in your email signature. You can change it out as often as you want, and it's really a great way to keep top of mind with people because you're sending so many emails out on a regular basis. It's one of your main vehicles of communication, so leverage it to your advantage. You can embed that video on your website. YouTube, if you load your videos there, gives you 2 really awesome links. It gives you the share link to put on social media and the full, long, scary looking embed code that you want to use to make sure that when you put that video on your website and it's done playing, it stops. You don't want to dive into YouTube land and lose somebody, having them spend the next 3 hours watching mindless videos on YouTube. We've all done it. It happens. When your video stops on your website, you want it to stop and keep that person on your site so they can continue to look at all the great content you have on your site. Keep them there. The embed code is the magical code that makes that happen for you. So put it on your site. Your Moxie presentation for your listing appointments supports video content. So make sure you're taking one of those samples off of the At Home in Northern California YouTube channel and you're plugging it into your next seller presentation you're going to present on Moxie. You can actually embed the video in there so you can give a great sample when you get to the point in time in your presentation where you're talking about how you're going to position this listing on TV. Let me show you what that looks like. It's a great way to keep somebody's interest, make you look super tech savvy, and make sure you're demonstrating the different values that you have available to you through your exclusive marketing program. Don't forget to take that share link from YouTube and also put your video on your Coldwell Banker profiles. Profiles that have a video on them are going to show higher in the search ranking results. Why not put a video there to showcase your marketing capabilities, to market your listings, and to make sure you again look like the tech savvy agent that you are and are leveraging all the powers of technology to your advantage. And of course, don't forget to send the video out in an e-blast to your sphere of influence. You can do this really easily through your InTouch Marketing Center. There are actually templates created in the Marketing Center for you to plug that video into and send it out to all your contacts. You want to get the word out and you have the technology to do it. So be sure to take advantage of that. All right. Next slide, we're going to move into actually meeting with Kim Powell, who is the Director of Listing Concierge for everybody across the nation. She's been gracious enough to join us today, and she and her team, actually Violet Nelson is here too, they're going to talk us through how you actually place that order in the Listing Concierge platform and then how you proof it, because there's a few things you want to make sure you know about, and if you haven't been in the system yet, it's definitely something that you want to hear before you get in there. So Kim, go ahead and take it away.
Oh, Cami, thank you so much. And can I just say, I love that we're doing this right now. Usually I'm kind of like locked to my desk every day and I can't get out to the Ed Expos. So doing it virtually this way is just incredible. And I just love it. And thank you to everybody who's joined. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen right now. And then I am going to actually take you into how to place an order. So the first thing you want to do is go to desk. You should all know what desk is, I'm sure you do. And then there's a big listing concierge icon on desk that you can click on. And when you do, you're going to get taken to the listing concierge order screen. So a few things to point out here. If you want to see a timeline for when your materials are going to be delivered, you can actually click here, right here on this blue link, and put in your order date, and then you can really see when you should expect your proof. So it's a great way for you to be able to plan when using Listing Concierge. And a couple other things I wanted to point out is that our Listing Concierge coordinators balance their day between doing orders and doing customer service. So if you reach out to your LCC, as we call them for short, you might not be able to get in touch with them right away, but we've got a couple other options for you. So the first thing is you can call our 1-800 number, which is listed right here near the top of the screen, our 833-LIST-CON, and you can get a hold of somebody on our team right away. You can also send us an email right here. That email is monitored all day long. But my favorite way is actually to come down here to the chat button down here at the bottom of the screen and click that. And then you'll be immediately connected to somebody on our success team who's very knowledgeable about Listing Concierge. So if you have placed an order or are going to place an order and you have a question, this is I would really recommend using chat. That's a great way to start. When you come onto this page, if you've placed an order before, you'll see it here on this page, and you'll notice that I've got some platinum and gold orders right here. I'm going to actually start a new order and show you just how quick and easy it is to do this. So one of the things that you're going to want to do right away is just fill out some basic information. So your names are already going to automatically pop in here. If you have a co-listing agent that you're going to be co-listing with, you can go ahead and start typing their name in here, and then you can go ahead and select them from the drop down, and this will make sure that their contact information shows up in all of the materials that our team creates. And likewise, if you're part of a sales team, you can go ahead and select this from the drop down right here. So Violet actually is she'll touch upon the importance of having your profile completed in here when she goes over the proofing stage, but this all pulls from your profile within Listing Concierge. And then there's a couple of bits of information we need before we can get started with placing this order. So the first thing you're going to want to do is make sure you fill out the street address and the city. So I'm going to go ahead and do that really quickly. And then usually we find that agents are placing orders before the property goes on the market. So you're probably not going to have an MLS ID number. That's why we've got optional here. The one thing I did want to point out is that it's really important to make sure that this MLS ID number is entered either by yourself or your Listing Concierge coordinator. And so our team should be looking for this, because when the MLS ID number is entered here, that's how Boost is initiated. That's how the update is initiated. So if this MLS ID number is in here, those things will definitely happen. So that's really important to put in there. The next thing I need to do is choose a property type. So I'm going to go ahead and choose single family. And then you can choose a status right here. I'm going to say active. If you want to hide the listing address so it doesn't show up on your materials, you can click this box here. Similarly, if it's a global luxury listing, go ahead and check this box right here. And that means that when our team is creating the proofs, we will make sure we use the global luxury branded materials. A couple other fields I can fill out, and they're all optional: bedrooms, bathrooms. I'm not going to fill that in. Square footage is something we require because this information will get passed on to our photography vendors, such as F8. So we want them, when they get the order, to know how big of a property they're going to be shooting. It just helps them set up their appointments correctly. And then I don't need to put in this seller information, so I'm going to go ahead and click start order. Whoops, I forgot to put my list price in, so that's great. If you forget to do something that you're supposed to do, the system will remind you to do that before you can move forward. So I'm going to hit start order, and then the next step is going to actually be to put in my marketing copy. So if I've got my marketing copy ready to go, I can put that in. I don't have it ready right now, so I'm not going to do that. There's a couple other bits of information down here, areas for our postcard mailer and advertising copy. Those are not fields you have to even worry about. This is really intended for if you want to have something different than the general marketing copy you provide right here. You can get more detailed, but just for this purpose, I want you to know the only area we need you to fill out on this page is the headline and the body copy right here. So I'm going to keep going. I'm going to hit start order. And now I'm going to get taken to my package selection screen. So you'll notice that I've got 3 different options right here. Professional photography is always going to be included. So if I don't want to include it, I would just want to toggle off that button. I'm going to go ahead and include it again. And I'm going to actually choose the gold order because I heard the gold package because I heard Sierra talking so wonderfully about those silver envelope mailers earlier. And then after I choose my package, I can then choose my brochure size and paper type. So we've got the choices of 8 by 8, 8.5 by 11, or 11/17. I happen to love the 8 by 8, so I'm going to choose that. And then I can choose either between glossy or matte finish. I'm going to keep it at glossy because that's what I like. And then as Cami was going over just moments ago, we've got several different publication options to choose from. And we're so fortunate in this area to be able to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and choose the Bay Area News Group because I get 10 pubs for one. That's such a great thing. And so I am then going to choose how I want my mailers to be delivered. So I've got a couple options. I can choose to send them to myself, so then I can mail them out on my own, which is not normally what people do. Usually they choose to mail to a radius surrounding the property or to upload their own list. So I'm going to keep it as sent to a radius. I can come back and change this later on too. So if you're not quite sure how you want to send them, just keep it defaulted to the radius for now, and then you can change that later. The next thing I'm able to do is actually order extra materials. So if I know that I'm going to need more than the 50 brochures that come in my package or more than the 100 mailers that come in my package, I can go ahead and place a few more orders for those right now. So I'm going to do that so you can see what this looks like. And then as you'll notice, I'll be charged this extra money for the upgrades. The last thing I need to do on this page is actually fill out where I want my e-flyer to be distributed. By rule, it usually goes to your primary sphere that's in Prospect Square, but if you've got a different group you want it to be sent to, you can go ahead and indicate it in this field right here, and your LCC will send it accordingly. Likewise, if I don't want my e-flyer to be sent out, you can also put opt out here, and then that'll ensure that your LCC doesn't send it. Your LCC is always going to check with you before they send out the e-flyer anyways, just to confirm the information's correct and it's being sent to the right group. So you can definitely touch base with them about that later on. And then the next page I get sent to is where I need to put in my shipping information and my billing information. So the shipping information is actually where your brochures are going to go, and this is going to default to go to your office address. Right now, we are asking you to change this to your home address so that we can send your brochures, should you choose to get them instead of the boost, to your home. That way we can make sure you get them in a timely manner, as we know everybody's not going to the office right now. I'm going to leave it like that for right now. And then the last thing I need to do is actually fill out my billing information. So I'm going to go ahead and do that really quickly, and then we'll be done with this order, and you'll see how quick and easy this is. It really only takes a few minutes when you get in here, and after you've done it a few times, it becomes really quick. I'm so lucky I've got an example credit card to use right now. So I'm going to keep it defaulted to that. I'm going to agree to the terms and conditions, and then I'm going to hit complete order. And so once this happens, I'm going to actually get an on-screen order confirmation, and it's going to tell me I'm almost done and that I need to now schedule my photography right now to complete my order. So I've got a couple different choices here for photography companies. I'm going to go ahead and select F8. And then I'm going to get taken to this page here where I'm able to select my preferred date and time for photography. So I'm going to choose Friday at 2 p.m. Just to note that when you choose your preferred date and time for photography, it's not automatically guaranteed. So even though you might choose a certain date and time, F8's team or whatever photography vendor you're working with will actually circle back with you following them receiving the order to let you know when the photography photo confirmation or appointment will be held. If there's any special notes you want to send over to the photographer, maybe that this is a gated community or whatever it might be, there's a dog on site, you can put that there, and then you can submit your request. And I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. And then that order goes directly over to F8's team. And then they're so great about getting in touch with you right away to confirm the appointment and schedule that out. And then you'll notice right here on screen, I get a pretty detailed order, on-screen order confirmation is what we call it. And this will really kind of take you through what to expect. So really for us, and Violet will get more into this, the clock starts to tick on our end when we get both the marketing copy and the photos in and your profile is complete. Once we've got all three of those things, that's when you'll be assigned a listing concierge coordinator, and that's when the clock starts ticking for us to produce our proofs for you. So there's a detailed screen right here. You also get an email with all this information. So if you have any questions about that, always get in touch with us afterwards. But I think that concludes placing an order, Cami, and I think we can probably turn it over to Violet now to show you what to do once your proofs are ready.
Awesome. Thank you, Kim. Violet, show us how we can proof this order and get stuff out the door.
Great, Cami, I will do that. Let me share my screen really quick. Okay, so once your photography and your copy is available to the coordinator, they will get busy creating your package. And when it's time for you to proof your materials, you'll receive 2 emails. One of them is the order status update that looks like this, and it's going to give you details about each of the pieces of your campaign, some of which should be approved via the Listing Concierge application, and some of it which is approved via email. The second one is the TV script approval, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So I've gotten this email. It's time for me to approve my pieces. I'm going to log into my desk and access my Listing Concierge dashboard, find the order that I want to proof, and select Manage Order. So I like to use this left-hand menu when I'm navigating through the system, and it is very easy to see all of the items that are available in your package and the status of the order. So I want to talk about the things that are proofed via our Listing Concierge app. That is the Just Listed mailer, the property brochures, and the print advertisement. They're all very similarly proofed, so I'm just going to quickly show you how to do the mailer. Let's click on mailer from the left-hand menu, and then you'll see a thumbnail. You'll click that to open the piece. Once you're in here, you will notice that this piece is upside down, and that has to do with the orientation. We need to send it off to Corefax in, but we do have this tool at the top, Rotate Canvas, if you prefer to proof right side up. Also, this is a 2-sided piece, and I can navigate between page 1 and 2 using these arrows at the top. Just about everything on here is editable. If it's something that's text, I click on the text, and I will get a text editor box, and I can simply make my edits and hit apply. For photos, I click on the photo twice that I want to change, and that will give me an editor box. It will also expand my photo section so that I can see all of the photos available to me. Then I simply just single click on the image I'd like to replace it with. And then I have a couple of tools where I can zoom in and out on the photo. I can grab it and move it around in the frame. When I'm happy, I hit apply, and that switches it out. Again, it's just as simple as a double click. Remember that that proof box will be up here at the top, and then a single click and an apply. As Kim mentioned, we wanted to talk about the importance of your profile, and that is the one thing on our pieces that is not editable at this stage. So it is very important that you are sure to have your profiles up to date with your current image, your headshot, your phone number, and your email address, etc. Because if that is incorrect, we will need to recreate your pieces for you, which could add another day to the turnaround on those. Anytime you make any changes, please come to the bottom and hit the save button so you don't lose them. A little pro tip I like to tell you about is before you send anything off to the printer, come up to the top and download a PDF of the piece. That way you can get a really good vision of what the final piece will look like. And when you're finished and ready to go to print, you just come down and hit approve and send to print. Remember, that's going straight over to Corefax, so be sure you are happy with the piece before you do that. One last thing before we leave, I want to show you the mailing options section, because Kim did mention that when you're placing your order, if you don't have your mailing list available or you just change your mind on how you want it sent, this is where you would make that change. So by clicking on use my own list and uploading the list here, we'll send it to your actual list instead. Again, those other pieces are very similar, so we're going to just skip right past those and talk about the items that you will approve via email, one of which is the email flyer. This is a flyer that is a digital flyer that's sent out to contacts that you have in your Prospect Square account. Kim mentioned that as well. And it's important that when you enter those contacts in, that you do put them into a group so we can send to the specific groups that you'd like. You can access the email flyer right here from this link in the order status update. And also important to note, we will never send this out without your written permission. We don't send anything to your clients without your permission. So please remember that you need to reply back to your coordinator and let them know that you're ready for that to be sent. Otherwise, it will not be done. And then the other thing that you need to do via email is the TV spot. This one gets a little confusing, so I like to spend a couple of minutes on it. But you'll receive this second email at the same time as you receive your order status update, and it includes a script that your coordinator has written for you. If you're not happy with the way that it sounds, you are welcome to make any changes to it, and here are some tips below on how to do that, as well as some guidelines on the character limitations for the length of the spot you get with your package. Most of our Bay Area packages are 20 seconds for a silver, 30 seconds for a gold, and 40-second spots for platinum. So once you're happy with this spot, you do need to reply back to your coordinator with this email and let them know that you are ready to be produced. At that point, the coordinator will send your script off to the production company, and the spot will be produced, and then you'll receive another email that looks like this. Be on the lookout for this, because the turnaround time for getting changes made to these spots is pretty quick, but it'll come to you. It will tell you exactly what air dates you'll be included in. It will have a link directly to the spot, as well as the second link. This is what Cami kind of went into about your social media. We recommend using this link to grab the spot to use in any of your social media. If you want to make changes to the spot, that's simple to do. And I'm going to pull in an actual order because I don't have a sample spot. But log into your Listing Concierge order, access the television and video spot, and you'll find it in the air date and YouTube video section. You can play it right here by clicking on the play button. Keep in mind that the cutoff time to make any changes to this video is listed underneath the video itself, and that's generally the Sunday following when you receive it. You can have another access to your YouTube link here, and you'll also have your first air date listed here. You can make changes to the images easily by opening the photo section, changing out the images in the frame arrangement box, clicking on save, and then submit. This will be an automatic re-render, and within 10 or 15 minutes, your new spot will be back with the updated photos. You can do that as many times as you like until you're happy with it, or until you've reached your cutoff time. The other thing that you can suggest changes on or request changes on is pronunciation errors. Remember, you approved the script already, so we won't allow for script changes, but if you hear a word mispronounced, just come on in here to the pronunciations box, let the company know that you need to, if you have phonetic spelling, that's usually the easiest way to send the direction over to them, and then you'll hit that submit, and that will send it over. It will take 1 to 2 business days to get that spot sent back to you with the new verbiage, or the new correction to the mispronunciation. And anytime you have any questions, you'll always find your Listing Concierge Coordinator's information down here on the bottom left-hand corner. And if you have any other questions, send them in through the chat. Thanks, Cami.
Thanks, Violet. That was great. All right, here's the deal, guys. I know this is a lot of information to take in. There's so many different pieces to your Listing Concierge package, and it's hard to know what you should focus on in the listing appointment, how to communicate a lot of that information, and it really just takes some practice by you to get really good at how to articulate these items to your seller. So I want to go through quickly before we wrap up the 12-minute listing presentation, which is designed to spotlight and showcase every one of these elements to your seller at a listing appointment. So the setup here is that I met somebody at a party. I told them that I would love to meet with them to talk about selling their home for 15 minutes. And if what I didn't say made any sense, didn't make any sense after 15 minutes, they could tell me to get out of their house and leave. So I'm now going to go meet with this person. I'm going to be presenting the Listing Concierge program as my, Cami Walton's, exclusive marketing program, which you will know as the 12-minute listing presentation. This is available in your Moxie Present account. So you can go there today and create your own 12-minute listing presentation. But you need to get really good at how you present this information to a seller. So I'm going to start and we'll jump right in. 12 minutes, here we go. Thank you so much for inviting me to your house. Now, I know that Coldwell Banker has been #1 as a brokerage for many, many, many years. And there's a real reason why we continue to be #1. It's not just because of what we're doing, but it's how we're actually doing it. And because I'm an agent now associated with Coldwell Banker, I have a lot of different tools at my disposal that are going to help to get your home sold quickly and for the best price possible. So here is my exclusive marketing program. What we're going to do right now is walk through every one of those different elements that you're seeing within your brochure. It's all going to start with professional photography. I do not come out here and use my iPhone to take photos of your property. I want a professional to do their job so that when somebody takes any kind of marketing collateral home about your property, they can look at the beautiful photos and remember exactly why it was they were interested in your home. So I'm going to hire a professional photographer. I know it's pricey, but I think it's totally worth it because those photos are going to be what make up the rest of our marketing pieces. So the first thing I'm going to do with that photography is make sure we get some beautiful brochures made. I'm going to have those available at open houses to hand out to people. And when they go home, and again, they're pulling out their brochure and they're trying to think through which properties they saw and liked and wanted to possibly purchase, they're going to see all of the beautiful photos of your property in that brochure and be able to make a really good decision and put in the best offer possible. I'm also going to take those photos and create an entire website just for your home. Now that site is going to feature the photography, it's going to feature the video that I'm going to do for your property as a virtual tour. All the leads are going to go directly back to me because I will be the only agent who gets the leads off of those websites. I'm also going to promote that website on social media to everybody in my network, and you can actually share it with your network too. So it's a great piece to just get the word out to everyone. Now I do believe in the power of social media advertising, but I'm going to take it a step further. Not only am I going to make sure that I'm targeting people on Facebook and on Instagram where they're spending their time online as it is, but I'm also going to make sure that I'm targeting thousands of other websites with a display ad for your property because people bounce around the web all the time based on their interests, their behaviors, their hobbies. So you're going to have an ad for your property on ESPN.com, FoxNews.com, CNN.com, and thousands of other websites. And I'm going to make sure I report back to you all the analytics that you're going to want to see about who was actually clicking through on the ad. Were they truly interested in your property? And I get all those leads directed back to me so that I can help vet through the right buyers for your listing. Now, I also think it's important that I share the information about your listing to my network. And I mentioned that I was going to do that on social media, but it's also important that I do it through email. I have a ton of email addresses in my database, hundreds of them, in fact. And so I want to make sure I get something out to them that showcases your beautiful photography, descriptive copy about your listing, and make sure that I'm the one who's getting those leads directed back to me so I can follow up with anybody in my list, whether it's an agent or a potential buyer who might be interested in purchasing the property. The next thing I'm going to do is TV. Everybody watches TV. We have HGTV to thank for all of the wonderful listings and homes and properties that they showcase on TV. And your home is exceptional. So I want to make sure we're promoting your property in the same way. So we actually have a TV show that airs every single Sunday at 4 p.m. on ABC7. Everybody knows ABC7. And I'm going to make sure that we promote your listing there. The TV show spot is going to be 30 seconds long, and it's going to actually showcase my name and information on there too, so that when anybody's interested in the listing, they send their information directly to me so I can follow up with them. I also have a YouTube spot that's going to be available through that TV spot, and I'm going to make sure I share it all over social media. It's going on my LinkedIn, it's going to go on Facebook, it's going to go on Instagram, and I'm going to give you that link too so you can make sure that you're showcasing your home to everybody in your network as well. The next thing that I'm going to do is make sure that I use something a little bit more special than the standard just listed postcards. Now, Those were great. I've done a lot of those. And over time, I found that they kind of lose their luster because everybody does the same thing. And I want to make sure that what we're putting out for your listing stands apart from every other home that's on the market in your neighborhood. So what I found works even better than the standard just listed postcard is something that looks like what you see there on the screen. That looks like an actual invitation to a wedding or a party, something that somebody who gets that in their mailbox definitely doesn't want to miss out on. It looks like I want to open that so that I can see where it is I'm going next. Only when that person opens up that envelope, they are going to actually see a beautiful trifold brochure featuring all the beautiful photography that we took earlier, and they're going to be able to really get a good idea of what your home looks like and be able to contact me so that we can schedule a walkthrough and a showing. In addition to that, I'm also going to leverage a really cool new piece of technology. And in fact, I want to get out your phone right now. If you would get out your phone, I'm going to have you text this code on your phone because I want you to see what happens. Most people, when they're searching for listings, are starting on their couch, right? They're going to Zillow and they're looking things up online. Zillow owns the couch, but what I use actually owns the sidewalk. When people are looking up listings online or when they're using the brochure flyer boxes that are on the yard signs in front of your house, I have no way to really track that to see who's truly interested in getting more information about purchasing your property. So what I use here and what you're typing into your phone right now is going to deliver a nice little link to you right there. So imagine you're standing in front of this property, you're standing in front of the yard sign in front of your house, and you're typing in this code. As you're walking away from that house and you've just typed in that code in your text, you get a link. That link takes you to a beautiful single property website all about your listing. It features all the beautiful photography, all the descriptive text that's about your property to give them the details of your property. And then it also provides me with the contact information for you standing there in front of the property. So I actually get your cell phone number, which means I can follow up super proactively and make sure that you have all the information that you needed to get about your home. I can also schedule a showing for you, and I can make sure that I'm following up with you again in the days or weeks to come and see if you're actually interested in moving forward with more information about the listing. So this is super cool. I don't use flyers anymore because people run off with them, they disappear, they get really gross in certain kinds of weather, and I've just found that this is a more effective way to generate leads for your listing. Now, I also am going to create a video slideshow of the property. This is going to be something that I take and get done before my actual virtual tour is created, but I'm going to be able to put some background music to this. I'm going to be able to have it branded and get it up on social media right away so that we have something to start marketing this in a really visual way before we get all of the professionally produced pieces completed. So look out for that too. You can share that on social as well. And then print ads. Now this is an outstanding listing. So I want to make sure that we're targeting the right people. And because of the price point of this property, I'm going to make sure that we get a third page of an ad into Gentry magazine. Gentry is really, really hot and popular, as you know, because we're down here in the Lower Peninsula in this market. And so I want to make sure that the people who are more likely to buy your listing here are going to be able to see the listing in that publication since everybody reads Gentry. So we're going to make sure we get a whole third page ad, multiple photos of the property, lots of descriptive text into Gentry magazine, and you'll get a copy of that as well. Now, I mentioned that it's my job to activate our realtor community. So what I'm going to also make sure happens is that as soon as we get all of your different photography pieces together, all of your collateral pieces done, I'm going to make sure that every single agent in my MLS area gets notified that this property is available and live on the market so that they can go and speak to their clients, their buyers, who are maybe would be interested in taking a look at the listing. Maybe they have somebody they know who would be perfect to purchase this home. But I need to make sure that I'm not only tapping into my personal network, but also tapping into the local realtor community. So I'm going to make sure that that happens, and you'll be able to see that too. And then the next thing I want to just talk about is online syndication. And what this really means is your property is going to be seen on hundreds of websites. Within a matter of hours of going live on the MLS, your property is going to be seen on Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, Homes.com, and up to like 700, maybe 800 different websites that Coldwell Banker actually syndicates listings to. It is not something that every brokerage has available to them. Coldwell Banker offers this to me as an agent, and so I leverage this because I know the power of internet marketing, and I understand how important it is to leave no stone unturned when it comes to finding the perfect buyer for this home. So there will actually be a feed for your listing and your home on every one of those hundreds of websites that we syndicate to. Now here's the really, really important part. I just promised you a lot of different things. You're going to want to know I've been doing those things, and you're going to want to have the links to the things that you could be sharing on your social media pages. So I'm going to actually put it all together in a really nice, succinct update for you. And when I have all the links to your print ad, to your social ad, to your TV spot, to everything you're going to want to see that is done so that you can make sure I've done my job and I've earned my commission, then you're going to have that available to you. I'll send that out to you. You can take a look at all the links. You can make sure that there's no stone left unturned. And if you have any questions, you'll be able to keep in communication with me so I can make sure that we're keeping you in communication and addressing all of your needs. So the question really is, are you ready to list your home? And are you ready to do it with Coldwell Banker? Because we have a lot to offer, and I want to make sure that you get the best price for your property and you get this property sold as quickly as possible. Thank you so much. The next piece of this program will be our Q&A, and Claudia Corey, our marketing manager, has been handling Q&A for us, leveraging your questions that are coming into the live Q&A. Claudia, are there any burning questions that we need to funnel over to some of our vendors here who are with us to get those questions answered?
Yes, there are. Good morning, everybody. So there was a question about whether we'll be adding new fields in the listing concierge materials to support two-person teams. I think we have co-listing contact information in there, Kim, but can you address that?
Yeah, Claudia, I'm sorry. Will you repeat that one more? Repeat that one more time? I had my kids in the background. I'm telling them to be quiet.
Do we have templates that allow for co-listing agents?
Yes, we do. So if you add in that co-listing agent's name at the time of order, we will automatically go ahead and use co-list materials when we're building out the order. So when it's a co-listing situation, we will feature both agent photos and both sets of agent contact information. And I think I saw a question in chat earlier, and I did want to let everybody know who's tuned in right now that when we move to VNew in the next couple months, we will have a lot more flexibility for people who work in co-listing situations as well as teams. So there's some really good things on the horizon in terms of just offering some more flexibility for that stuff.
Excellent. Thank you, Kim. And then we have a question for Boost. I'm not sure if Evelyn's still here. Is there a way to see the criteria of who will see the Boost ad and or edit that?
I think Evelyn actually had to jump off to get on another call, but we will funnel that question to her and make sure that we respond to that person who asked the question.
Okay. Then we have a question for, I think, Scott from .signal. What is the radius of the search when somebody types in the keyword?
So the first radius we do is a 0.2 mile radius search. And we'll pull any properties from that office within that radius, which usually is only one. If nothing shows up in that 0.2 mile radius search, we extend that radius out to 2 miles and then provide the consumer with properties only from that office that are in that 2 mile radius search, and then the consumer can click the one they wanted.
Okay, great. Thank you, Scott. And then a question for Ryan. Ryan, is F8 currently going to occupied homes to shoot?
Yes, we sure are going to occupied homes. Of course, we do love vacant homes, but we will go to your occupied homes as well. Just please make sure that the sellers or occupants are not present for the photo shoot. And it's always a good idea to arrive at the property at least 30 minutes ahead of us, just to make sure that everything is ready to go so we can walk in and start shooting. We really want the property and the photos to meet your satisfaction. So just making sure that everything's ready before we get there will help to make that happen.
Great, thank you. And Ryan, we have a couple more questions for you. Do your photographers carry telephoto lenses to capture outdoor scenic shots or views?
So we don't typically carry those with us to every photo shoot. Those are expensive pieces of equipment that usually don't get used. If you know that you have views or something that needs to be captured with a telephoto lens, please be sure to notify us ahead of time. You can put that in the notes when you place your order, or you can call in and talk to our customer service team or myself. By the way, I'm always available, even though I don't answer the phones. So you can also ask for me, but we'll get those notes to the photographer and just make sure that we are equipped before we head out to that appointment.
Great, thank you. And another question for you, Ryan. Do the agents own the photos, or does F8 own the photos?
So we do transfer the rights to the photos to the agent, and they're able to use those photos in their course of business while marketing that property. We do maintain a co-license to the photos so that we can use them in our marketing as well.
Okay, great. And I believe that was all we had for our questions. I'm going to check one more time, Cami, and see if I've gotten everything. Oh, sorry, we do have a question for Kim. When does the old Listing Concierge version disappear? We were told to remove anything we wanted to save. Can you address that a little bit, Kim?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're actually going to be migrating people over from our current platform to what we're calling VNew over the next couple months. So we're actually doing it in 3 waves. So we've got our first wave of companies around the country that are going to start to get migrated later this month. Our group that we're talking to right now within Northern California is set to go sometime in June, and then we're going to have our last group go sometime in July. So exact dates, we'll be getting that information out shortly to you. But for now, I think the important thing for you to know is that when we do migrate to VNew, you're not going to actually have access to your stuff in the current platform. So if there's things you want to save, like PDFs you want to download, website URLs that you want to save, that's stuff I would definitely encourage you to do right now before we migrate.
Great, thank you, Kim. And a couple more questions. Can Listing Concierge be used for lots or commercial or warehouse listings?
Yeah, so we do not support commercial at this time. Commercial has its own sets of requirements, including a special logo and disclaimer, and we don't have that as part of the system right now, unfortunately. It is something that we do plan to support in the future, and we want to. So at some point, I feel confident that will happen. We do support lots and lands too right now. So if you've got a lot or land that you want to put into the platform, into the program and place an order for, that's completely fine.
Okay, excellent. And I think there was a question, is a co-listing agent able to access and edit an order?
That's a great question, and that's one of the reasons why we're so excited about VNew, everybody. Right now in our current platform, the person who places the order, whether it's a co-list or a team member, is the only person who has access to that order. At some point when we migrate over to VNew, we are going to offer some flexibility in terms of allowing co-listing agents and team members, being the ones who did not place the order, we're going to allow them access to go in and make edits. That's not going to happen right away when we launch VNew, but that's something that's on our roadmap. So I think you can be excited that there's some really bright things ahead for Listing Concierge in the future. We really haven't even begun to scratch the surface with what we want to offer through this program. So just know that we're working on a lot of great things, and that's one of them.
Okay, great. Thank you, Kim. Cami, we have a question about the marketing materials that are available for promotion of Listing Concierge. Do you mind touching on that?
Yes, so you can find a whole suite of marketing materials in InTouch is a great place. You can find flyers, you can find e-blasts for you to quickly and easily customize and send out or print out. And then if you want to get the consumer brochures that are going to actually be something that you could leverage at a listing appointment and actually bring in and showcase that as your entire piece of your marketing piece of your listing presentation, you can find those on Express Docs. There's a lot of different versions in there. You have a couple of versions for silver, for gold, and for platinum, and they can come in either the North Star branding or in the global luxury branding. So depending on what type of properties you're working with mainly, you might order some of the luxury branded options, or you might go with a mix of both. So take a look at the options in there, but you can definitely get those consumer-facing pieces out of Express Docs.
Great, thank you, Cami. We also had a question about the CW Channel 31, what area that covers.
So the CW TV station covers our Sacramento, Tahoe markets. Dustin, you may have some more clarity around the exact coverage map for that channel if you want to pipe in on that. We might be having a mic issue. That's okay. So what I'll do in the recap is make sure that we get the coverage maps for all of the different TV channels. One thing I will say about TV is that if I am an agent in the Bay Area and I want to advertise on TV on the Sacramento television station, that is not a possibility at this time. So if I am a Sacramento agent, the TV spot that I will get will be featured on the Sacramento TV channel associated with my Listing Concierge package, which means the CW. And if I am a Bay Area agent, then my TV spot will actually be shown on ABC 7, which is the TV station that is associated with the Bay Area, Silicon Valley, Peninsula, San Francisco markets Listing Concierge package. But we'll get the coverage maps and be sure to send that out along with all of the print advertising options in the recap email, so you have all of those different things at your disposal. One other thing came up about print ads in particular. Somebody asked a question in the chat about, can I actually pick a different publication, like maybe choose the one I get in my Listing Concierge package, but then also do like an a la carte ad to a different publication in a different market to target some additional buyers or get some extra exposure for myself in a different region? The answer is yes. Listing Concierge will come with one print ad included in that package. If you want to target some other group of buyers or a different area, then you can use the app in your mycbdesk.com that says data-based ads. When you click on that tile, you actually get a list of every single Listing Concierge publication that we offer to all of our agents. And you can create a la carte ads directly through data-based ads. You get the Coldwell Banker pricing for all of those ads, and every ad you actually purchase a la carte through data-based ads is the gold-sized ad or the 6-page ad with your headshot and some property details. So you can go in there and have a field day ordering a la carte ads. But here's what the really smart agents are doing. The smart agents are going into data-based ads first before they go ahead and place their Listing Concierge order. And they're looking at the pricing so that they know what the most expensive ad is. And then they're going back into Listing Concierge and adding that most expensive ad to their Listing Concierge order and ordering the a la carte ads outside of that at lower prices within data-based ads. So take a look at that. You'll also see the run schedules, when materials are due. All of that is included in data-based ads, which is an app in your mycbdesk.com. Did we have any other questions, Claudia, or did we get them all?
I think that was it. Actually, we had a question about where the leads go when they get a lead from HomeSpotter Boost, if it's text or email. I believe it's email, but Cami, can you speak to that?
I believe it's email as well.
Yeah. Okay, and I think that is, let's see. Oh, there was a question about paying up front for Listing Concierge, and yes, to complete your order, you need to supply a credit card. And if somebody asked if we've worked with a Listing Concierge rep before, will the new listing be directed to that person as well automatically? Kim, can you address that, please?
Yeah, I heard that there was a question about the credit card, and yes, you do have to put a credit card information in when you're placing the order. We don't store credit card information because it's a security violation, so we don't want to be responsible for that. And then what was the other part of the question, Claudia?
If an agent has worked with a concierge coordinator previously and would like to work with that person again, is there a way to request that?
Yes, absolutely. And we really do try our best if you've worked with somebody in the past to pair you up with them. And a lot of times when the orders are coming in on our end, if that listing concierge coordinator sees your name come in, it's kind of funny, like bragging rights. Like, I work with that person, I'm going to pull that order. And we call each LCC has what we call their fan club. So they're agents that they work with over and over again. If that LCC is really busy and they're not able to take on your order because they won't be able to get it out for you in a timely manner, that might be an instance where we transfer the order to somebody else, just so that we can get it out in our guaranteed turnaround time. So just know that we do that sometimes just to keep your order on track. But by all means, please do request to work with a certain person. We absolutely love that. And that's what we hope to do through this program, is really to have you connect with our team members and start to build those relationships.
Great, thank you, Kim. And actually, just one more thing, can you advise agents with the new version, if they want to keep any assets from their past orders, what should they do about that? I think there's actually training on that, isn't that right, in Sales Pro?
Yes, we're going to have training on that. So I would definitely encourage you to sign up to attend one of those trainings. The other thing we have a checklist too we've actually created that Cami, I can make sure we give you that, so you can send that out in the follow-up too, which is just a whole guide of if you're going to be saving your assets, what to save and what to do, that sort of thing. So I'll get that right over to you. But yeah, why don't you look for the follow-up email from Cami, I would say, because that's going to be a great checklist to go through. But it's as simple as going into your orders that are in Listing Concierge right now and downloading PDFs and, saving your marketing copy and your website links and that sort of thing.
Absolutely. So the recording will be included in the recap. The slides will be included in the recap for you. So if you're wondering where all of that information is going to come from, look out for an email from me following this event with all of those details there. Also, we had a question about the script for the 12-minute listing presentation. I believe there are talking points somewhere, but I don't know exactly where they're at. My best recommendation is going to be to take a look at one of the video clips that I send in that recap. We've had a number of people who have done the 12-minute listing presentation in various formats and venues, and I'll be sure to upload a few of those different options for you to take a look at. Everybody is going to say their script a little bit differently each time, but the basic points of the script are going to be in there. So take a look at the different samples I send out and think about crafting your own script. You don't want to sound like you're reading something. You definitely want to sound like it's coming from you and coming from your heart. So take a look at the different samples. And if you need any help, make sure you tap into your marketing specialist, into your marketing manager, into me. We are here to help you. Your marketing team is here to help. We want you to succeed. We want you to be better, stronger listing agents. And Coldwell Banker is literally writing a check every single time you are purchasing a listing concierge package to help promote you, the agent, and to help you secure more listings. That's the goal of the program. We want you to win every listing every time. We want you to stop having to debate your commission at the listing appointment table. And we want you to wow your seller, promote yourself, and turn one listing into 2 or 3 more listings. We're here to help you. So lean into us so we can help you do that. I want to thank you all for your time. I know we went a little bit longer than we had hoped, but we do appreciate that you stuck with us, that you've heard all the information, and we'll get you all the details on all of our vendor contacts in that recap email that's going out to you. So please look out for that and let us know how we can help. Thank you so much, and I hope you make it a beautiful rest of your day.